Welcome to week 5 of Ldrs 5333, Leading Across Cultures. I am back in Florida. I've had a great vacation. I did bring home some, souvenir poison ivy. Other than that, we had a great trip. But it's great to be back. I thought I'd do the recording today in my home office. It's a little hot outside here in Florida these days. Boy, it's been a crazy month or last couple months with all the violence, particularly cross-cultural violence that we've seen in the news, whether it's somebody from ISIS or other Muslim extremist groups in Europe or even in the United States, killing people, or even cross-cultural violence here in the United States between different ethnic groups. It's really sad, I think. I don't know all the solutions to it. Actually, I know the ultimate solution. It's if we lived out Christ's two greatest commandments, to love God and love our neighbor, we'd probably be a lot better off. So I just encourage you, as you learn about this cross-cultural or these cross-cultural models and ways of thinking about other cultures, that maybe we can all think through how we can, one, pray, and two, act to help prevent the violence and consternation and misunderstandings that are going on. Obviously, first in our communities, and maybe as we move around, go to other places, vote in politics, in the elections, to help solve the problem, maybe in a wider perspective. Well, we are halfway through the course. Congratulations, you finished week 4. We're done looking at the 3 main cultural dimension models, and now we're kind of narrowing into the globe model a little bit more on leadership specifically. So if you remember, the globe model is from this massive study here, and this is only part 1. There are 2 other parts, but the book that came out first, Culture, Leadership, and Organizations, when they studied 62 societies. I know some of your countries may not be in here, so you might need to use a proxy one again for the work this week. But we're going to specifically look at the CLT, or the Culturally Endorsed Implicit Leadership Theory. Implicit leadership essentially means that leadership is in the eye of the beholder, that us as followers will only attribute leadership to someone if they fit the model that we think a leader should demonstrate. The other one is a model of servant leadership, also derived from the data from this initial study that a couple of the original authors put together, and they look at 5 dimensions of servant leadership. So I've given you a couple articles to look at that. I've also given you the data from the book here on the CLT. The only data that I have for the servant leadership model is kind of aggregates for regions around the world, so you can look at it that way. Also in the article on the CLT is the aggregate data again for different regions of the world, but not the individual countries. But I did give you the tables from here for the individual countries. In the book here, they kind of look at, I don't know if you can see that, and this table is also in your article. But they look at whether regions are medium, low, or high, and then they put in bold whether they're the highest or the lowest of each of the dimensions of, see if we can focus on that, of the CLT model. So a little bit maybe less specific data this week to compare the different countries, but I think you can still do a decent job of it. It is interesting I think, to hone in on leadership specifically, since that's part of the title of the course, and how that is maybe different in different cultures. I know that working in Korea, I would have been a lot better off understanding how people are led there versus my kind of American military style of leadership. I was only 27, 28 years old when I was put in charge of 30 Korean civilians, and I had a lot of challenges. Language barrier, one, but two, just different ways of understanding leadership, where maybe I wanted to be more direct, maybe more participative, where they weren't as receptive to that, where they wanted more of maybe a team approach. So 6 different ways of looking at leadership, 6 different styles in the CLT, and then 5 different aspects of servant leadership in the servant leadership model. It doesn't have a name. You can call it the cross-cultural or the globe. I usually call it the globe servant leadership model. But we can look at both of those and maybe better understand leadership a little bit with respect to different cultures. Let's see. So next week we'll be done with all the different ways of looking at culture and how it affects communication, motivation, and teamwork. In week 6, we'll do a kind of a comparison, the pros and cons of each of the models. You'll choose the model that you want to do for your final paper. Some of you have probably already decided that. And although I wouldn't discount the 2 models that we're going to look at this week, decide the model that you're going to use for your paper and your presentation when you compare your culture to the United States. I think you have all the information that you need. The Dropbox still has all those JPEG pictures from the book, and you can go back in the DF, the discussion forum in week 4, and get those, or you have the link in the email. But again, got a quiz this week, a couple articles, a video, some readings in the Ldrs book as we get to this is the 5th dimension of the Ldrs model, and we'll finish up the last 2 next week. But I pray God gives you a great week, that you can use this information that we're gaining on culture to, in the workplace, in your lives, in your ministry, and to, like I said earlier, just understanding people of different cultures and how we might love them as Christ has called us to do, and hopefully remove some of the violence that we see going on.